Hey guys, Shaun here. Thanks to everyone who tunes into the Play It Up podcast. We really love doing this podcast and really appreciate everyone who listens. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram by searching for Play It Up podcast. You can find the full video podcast on YouTube, and you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple and Google podcasts, Anchor and more. If you want to ask us a question, you can do so on Anchor, and your question will be featured on the podcast. If you like what we do, please remember to like, review, comment, follow or subscribe, and please recommend us to your friends. Thanks guys, and enjoy the episode.
Yeah.
Drum roll, please. Techno.
Boom, 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 boom.
All right, yeah. Welcome back to another episode of Play It Up podcast.
With you like Mr. Mac MC.
Yeah, and we've got Mr. Neil C. Neil Cans. Ghosts and Goblins.
Neil C.
Yeah. I'm actually using this as the intro.
Good.
So sorry to everyone out there. Well, yeah, I'm your host, Shaun, and this is the Play It Up podcast. Welcome back to another episode, and how you going, boys? Who we got with us?
Woo! Mike? Mike C?
Mike and and Neil C.
And Neil C. Unrelated. Amazingly.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go with me today.
Neil.
Mike?
Yeah, you do it, Shaun.
That was great. We should really talk about it before we do it sometimes, but I'm going to keep that in. That was, why not?
Nice.
People love a bit of horseplay, I reckon. Today on the podcast, we're catching up, talking about what we've been doing lately. We're answering some people's questions. We've got to talk about Neil's Ghosts and Goblins world record attempts. There's other things to talk about, like Arcade Wars, Death by Arcade, fighting game comp coming up at Netherworld, BPAC, which is a Brisbane Pinball and Arcade Collective. It's a big thing we need to talk about happening. PAX has been announced in Australia. I'm not sure where. I'll have to ask the boys because I can't go because I'm stuck in Germany. We have a Kim Canonarm documentary to talk about. If you don't know who he is, you will. Insert Coin documentary I watched recently. And the Mortal Kombat movie that's coming out. Bundy Bash and a mate of ours had a wedding, and we will get stuck into all of it. That's a lot. So that might be over 2 episodes. We will see how we go. But let's start off now with who looks better today. And Neil, you look really good, mate.
Oh, okay.
What have you been up to, Neil?
This guy.
I've been playing a shit ton of Ghosts and Goblins, so nothing's changed for me.
Never would have guessed.
But yeah. So I actually had to. It's been a while since we caught up, so I actually listened to our previous podcast to see where I was at with Ghosts and Goblins. So last time I was tuned in, I hadn't actually one credit cleared the game yet. So since then I've one CC'd the game, and I've gotten the I've submitted and was accepted my main world record. So that's all done and dusted. So
you have a new world record.
Stoked with that. So finally got.
Dude.
It's
serious.
So
that's
I was really stoked with it.
For anyone who doesn't know, that's the emulated version of the original arcade game. So there's 2 different score tracks, or what would you say? Two sections on Twin Galaxies where you can set the world record for original arcade. Maybe there's more, but there's MAME and then there's original, and you've got the MAME world record. And
and I've been I had the opportunity to go for the world record on Genuine Board, which Mark Bell from Game the System kindly lent me his board so I could attempt to break the world record on that.
What a bloke.
So I organised it with Jimmy to spend 2 days in there and see how I go.
At Netherworld,
at Netherworld.
Yeah.
So it was all on streamed, and unfortunately,
Nice.
I came up short. The world record is 1.1 million, and I got 920,000, which is it's second
Huge.
place.
Still a massive score. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's
It's an insane run either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really funny. I was stoked with that run that I was having, and I got stuck on a ladder. When
I
I was
watched
bird
that, man.
deploying towards the
Devastating.
and they cleaned me up, and it was game over from there. But had another second day of it, which I had another good run on that day where I got to the last level with all of my lives, but I just couldn't get past these two devils. With I think I had 4 lives at that stage, and that was it was hard to go back to the machine after that game because I really felt like that was a really good opportunity to not just beat the world record, but to set a decent score past that if I got through. So
Brutal,
I'll be practicing again. Yeah, we're learning a little bit about the board that I'm playing. It's because there's a few different region sets of ROMs of the board. So I've been practicing on one called US Set 1, but the board that I went for my record attempts is actually different to US Set 1. So what I learnt about the game is that there's certain parts of it that don't play the same. The monster behavior is a little bit different and stuff like that. So I had to actually, I was trying to learn it on the spot, trying to work out the pattern behavior and how to beat it during my run. So
that's
I shouldn't
crazy.
be
After
too
a
disappointed.
year, like, was it more than a year? 2 years or something? So that you've been
Yeah, it's been
practicing
over a year of
a
playing.
different, like, a different ROM that has different patterns and everything.
Yeah, and to learn it on the fly was really challenging.
Oh, wild.
So
for sure.
I suppose I can't be too upset with 920 and like the support. It's crazy. Like it might sound silly, but the support I've been getting is just phenomenal from like the arcade community. Like I said, Mark Bell supplying the board, Jimmy setting up the stream and everything in Netherworld, and just people like Johnny Bond and Dennis Edmonds were pretty much around for both of my runs from start to finish.
Man.
And just the support online from like people like Matt Tecchio and Evan Weston looking into the board ROMs and things like that for me. It's just been it's amazing. Like it just shows you how awesome our community is.
Totally, man.
So yeah, although I didn't get it, thanks for everyone for all your support. And yeah, I've come too close to. I've come too far not to get the world record, so I will keep on going. Just need to lick my wings and get back on the horse and find a bit more time up my sleeve to spend another 7 or 14 hours at Netherworld. Yeah.
You've got the board at home now, right? Or
I've got the board at home.
With
I've
the
got
same
the board
ROM
at home,
or different
so
ROM now?
I've got the same ROMs in at the moment, but our friend, another person I should be thanking is Adam or Kaizen, as he's known. He's actually imprinted the correct ROM playing onto like new ROMs that I can literally put into this board so it plays the way that I'm used to.
Oh,
so
awesome.
That's going to give me a really good chance of taking down the record, playing it the way I expect it to be played.
Sick.
Yeah, stuff I'm more learning about just because of this experience, really. But yeah, if anyone can help you out, it's Adam. So Adam Lee. So yeah, huge shout out to him.
Good bloke. He's such a good bloke. I miss playing Donkey Kong with him. He was part of that like marathon that we did at Netherworld where we were just streaming Donkey Kong for like 4 days.
Nice.
With breaks.
Yeah,
but,
that's it.
Yeah, I really should have got a kill screen, but I didn't. Oh well. Good on you, Neil, for getting second in the world, man. And first, not only did you get second in the world,
achievement.
you got first in the world at MAME. So 1 world record down, 1 to go.
Prior, Yep.
And you'll get it, man. And then
Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm getting like I'm still practicing on MAME and still getting like more consistent runs with that. I've actually it's not the score that I've submitted on Twin Galaxies, but I've actually beaten the arcade world record a couple of times now, so I'm pretty confident.
Oh, right.
Once I get this board with the ROMs up and running, it'll be sweet as.
Man, it's such a brutal game. I watched some of your gameplay of the best run you had it on the arcade version at Netherworld, and man, does not look easy at all. Like, and you're just standing in spots and you know, like things shooting down at you, they're not going to hit you. But for me, if it's like my first time playing, I'd just be running back and forth and dying straight away. But you just know the game
for
so
sure.
well.
Yeah, it's taken me a long time to get to this point, but yeah, it's funny looking back at it. I used to watch parts of the guy who has the arcade world record, because you can watch it on Twin Galaxies, and there's parts of it where I remember thinking, how does he do that, or feeling like there's no way in hell I can do this. But yeah, just over time, and just like I suppose people turning into this podcast would know it's all I've been playing for like 12 months. So yeah, I suppose like the dedication's paid off in the time I've put into the game.
Totally,
So,
dude.
yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah, just can't wait for the day. And like I can play it here, but I don't want to. I want that record to go to Netherworld. That's where it belongs.
Put them on the map even more than they are.
Yeah.
Why not? That's awesome,
that's it, man. Yeah.
Spacey's Cafe and Arcade in Toowoomba kindly sponsors the Play It Up podcast. If you are ever in or near Toowoomba, we think you're crazy if you don't give them a visit. Spacey's has loads of arcade and pinball machines, retro consoles, and even air hockey. They have an excellent selection of food and drinks for the whole family, and have some great beers on tap. Spacey's is open Wednesday through Sunday, and you can check them out on Facebook and Instagram to keep up to date with the awesome events they have going on there. Spacey's is located at 2 Club Lane in Toowoomba. Take a trip back to the 80s with Spacey's.
Yeah, so the other exciting news I've had is that Dennis Edmonds came and fixed up my arcade machine. So I had one that needed a new control panel. It's like quite an oblong shape, but what happened was David James fixed that up for me. He was able to like get a metal worker to actually redesign it again. So that's all up and running. I've been working on that for ages, and it's very small and unique. So I'm stoked with that.
Cool.
So yeah,
put a photo of that on
running.
the Facebook page. If you don't mind sending me a photo of your cabs.
Yeah, totally, man. And then the other one, I've got like a kind of like a 6-button 2-player kind of like arcade cab, big red boy. Dennis got the monitor up and running on that one as well. So two working cabs, or 3 working cabs in my house for the first time ever. So I'm stoked.
That's so cool.
So yeah, man. Yeah, it's awesome to have your own arcade cabs in your house, and different options and in regards to buttons and the way that the controllers are sorted and whatnot. So yeah,
so it's
long time coming, but yeah, stoked.
Now your house is a castle, mate.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's finished. So nice, what have you been up to, Mike?
this is probably the second time I've been in the games room in a month. It's been pretty sparse at home, games-wise. The last time I got in here, it was probably a few weeks back, and I just had to have some time out. And I jumped in and got PS2 cranking, and I thought I'd jump into a game that I had in the collection that I haven't played before, because there's quite a few PS2 games that I've got in the collection I still haven't had a chance to go through and check out. So I put in a game I picked up in England when I was over there in 2017, possibly 2018, and it's called Syvaria, so Psyvariar, and I picked it up purely because I'd heard about it. I'd read about it in Retro Gaming Magazine, or I'd heard about it in a forum somewhere, or heard someone comment about it, and it's a bullet hell shooter. So it's one of the first times I've played a bullet hell. Like, I played one or two on main, but I didn't really dig into them. But with Syvaria, like, it's so you got your left dual shock stick is you moving your ship around. The animation of your ship, like most bullet hells, the animation of your ship is quite big, but the hitbox of it is really tiny. And the cool thing about this bullet hell shooter, which it might be a thing amongst other bullet hells, I'm not sure, because I've not really played many at all. But this one, if you can graze against the bullets without hitting them, you get a bonus multiplier as you're trying to kill the enemies. So you got to, it's like a risk versus reward. You've got to graze against the patterns of bullets coming towards you and graze through them to get a multiplier as you're trying to kill the enemy that's shooting the billions of bullets at you.
Oh man, what a cool idea!
It's a great idea. Like, it was pretty addictive, because I've never it's the first time I've dug into a bullet hell shooter, and it was good. I spent like an hour and a half on it, just playing it, and it was good and satisfying. And you're dying a lot, but you die a lot, you get a few seconds further. You die a lot, you get a few seconds further. It's that sort of like you're learning the game, you're feeling it, you're understanding how it works.
Totally.
But yeah, that was probably the only session I've had here in a month until now, when I'm not playing games, I'm recording the podcast. So yeah, it's nice to be in here again. It's
man.
So
I'd be there every night if I could. But I guess you just get buggered from work and stuff, right?
Man, work has been mental, and also I've been like kicking off the cold drip again. So, and that's taking up a lot of time before and after work. So the games room I walk past it, I'm like, I just want to be in there. And then I'm going to the back fridge to get some ice blocks for the cold drip machine. I walk back out of the kitchen, get the cold drip going, drop the ice blocks in. Yeah.
So at least you love it.
A little bit. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. And
you should plug your cold drip stuff if you want, man.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. I'm just kicking off again and trying to get the bottles of cold drip extract cranking again. I'm just doing it for mates and buddies at the moment, and family as well. So I'm posting it around Australia, down to New South Wales, Victoria, over to Perth, over to Northwest WA as well. I've got a mate who's buying it, and it's basically an espresso coffee replacement for like a tenth of the price of an espresso. You make iced coffees with it. You can make like affogatos with it. It's good stuff, and the caffeine content isn't as hardcore as espresso. It's about 75% of espresso, but it's I don't know. It's economical. It's easy to make a coffee with. You can make the coffee the way you like it.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's good stuff. We drink it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had some of yours, like when you did iced coffees and stuff like that as well. I've had some awesome, just top quality. I always felt like a clear, good kind of caffeine buzz.
Yep.
I don't know if there's different kinds of caffeine buzzes, but I always just felt good after your coffee. So nice. It's good. It's good gear, mate. It's good gear.
Good to know. Yeah. So I'm just like at the moment running it as a hobby thing at home. Just it does take away from the game time, but it's also something I want to push towards, like a commercial side of things in a couple of months. Hopefully, go commercial again. Get back with the labels and the business name, business insurance, commercial kitchen, producing it properly to be able to sell it commercially as well. So slowly building up to that and just seeing what I can do during each week, how much I can make with my 3 litre and my 600ml setup.
Yeah, nice.
So but yeah, outside of that, just a couple of games at Netherworld here and there before the lockdown, because we had the lockdown, like, was that 2 weeks ago now? The lockdown came in place and it shut down. So a good couple of games at Netherworld. Joined the social pinball league at Netherworld a few months, probably 2 months back.
Oh yeah,
So
I
I'm playing pinball
join
now
that
as
when
well.
I get back. That's so cool.
Oh man, it's awesome fun. Like you just make a team before, and you just join up and you play a random couple of games through. So you're sort of like it's almost like it's like a football team or like a netball team or whatever. So you have, like, 1 week you'll have 4 sets of teams playing. The next week you'll have the other 4 sets of teams playing against each other, and it's different styles of gameplay. So you go in first up, you verse someone on the opposite team, and then the next round you have like a split flipper competition where you and one of your teammates is playing one flipper on one side, and then the other the other teammate's playing the right hand flipper.
Oh,
and
cool.
you're trying to play a game together with 2 people controlling 2 different flippers.
Very cool.
And it's just a fun social thing. They've the guys at Netherworld put together. Mitch Wilkins is like the head, like making it all happen. And it's a lot of fun. And they really, like, everyone's made their own costumes or their own, like, uniforms for it. So it's become a whole new thing about playing pinball. It's not just like your pinball frenzy or your pin golf or like your pinball masters. It's a very social, very fun. Get into it, have a lot of banter. You can, like, trash talk the other team if you want to, and it makes it a lot of fun. Yeah,
sounds like kind of just low level social league basketball kind of thing. Like they have a ladder and everything, right? And then you'll have semis and grand finals and all that kind of thing.
Yep.
It's so sick, man. Man, I'm missing out on so much being over here. This is horseshit.
Oh man, you'll be back sometime. Don't worry, man.
Yeah, hopefully
we'll get you back here.
Should be next year. But yeah, nice. Good stuff, man. Sounds really cool.
Yeah, and also digging into a bit of Tetris lately. Like, I had the EverDrive in the Tetris on Game Boy. So starting off now at level 13, just playing 5 to 10 minutes, bit of a speed run to see where I can get to in 5 to 10 minutes. And yeah, it's been fun. That's been the last week or so, digging back into old school Game Boy Tetris.
Nice, man. It's always a good time. Nice. That's a timeless game.
Yeah, and like, surprisingly, it even at that speed, when it's pretty fast, trying to think of things like slowly as the blocks are coming down, just trying to, like, manage them and just easily placing them, and like, I'm playing a very safe game. It's become my, like, latest craving of Tetris. It's weird. But doing it at a high speed, but playing it slowly is pretty satisfying, because you can play safely, but still the blocks are coming down fast, but you don't have to stress. You just, like, let them come down, turn around, place them in. Don't go for Tetris every time, because you're going to end up, like, through the roof with bricks. So
yeah. That's kind of how I play at high speeds. Like, try to build for a Tetris, but as soon as it gets a little bit kind of like halfway up the screen, just burn it down a bit, keep it safe.
Yeah.
Because you can't score if you're dead. So
that's it.
Good call.
If you top out, you're fucked. So
yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's probably the other, like, the other 1/3 of my gaming time recently. Apart from a bit of Switch as well, re-downloaded the Pac-Man 99. Played a bit of Pac-Man 99 the other night, and man, if you know a little bit of Pac-Man 99 is one of the most fun games you can play. It gets hectic really quickly, but it's, oh man, a little bit of Pac-Man knowledge, like just chilling in a spot in a game when the ghosts are nowhere near you, you can just sit there and nothing's going to happen to you. Just have a break. It's awesome. And then all of a sudden you just go
watch the other people die.
Yeah. You pick up the power pellets. You pick up the multi ghosts. I don't know what they are. You pick up the ones down the side where there's like 10 or 12 like little ghosts, and it adds them to adds them to one of the ghosts, and then you get the power pellet, you eat them all, and you probably gives junk to enemies. I haven't worked out the game at all.
That's what happens. Yeah, it sends like those clear, like I think it sends those clear Pac-Men, and at some point they become red and they could kill you as well. But the clear Pac-Men that you run into, they slow you down. It's
That's like it.
Stuck in mud kind of thing.
Stuck in mud or sand. Yeah, and it's really interesting because like when you're getting hammered by a lot of opponents with those clear or the white Pac-Man looking things, it can slow you down to a crawl, and the enemy ghosts can just catch up to you real quick.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Make sure you need a power pellet if you're getting hammered by like those clear ones. But I found it way more having a little bit of knowledge of how Pac-Man plays. I found it way more forgiving than Tetris 99, than Mario 35, than and even than Fall Guys. I found it way more forgiving just by having a little bit of Pac-Man arcade game knowledge.
A bit of history, a bit of knowledge of the game.
Which is awesome, because you still got to play it super freestyle, because the ghosts do not behave as they do in Pac-Man. They behave like randomly. So you just got to play it in a freestyle way, like Ms. Pac-Man, freestyle it around. And
so cool.
That's really cool.
Super fun. Yeah.
I think Donkey Kong could be a cool one if they do Donkey Kong 99.
Man, it's got to be next. It has to be the next one they do. 100%.
Yeah, it would be cool. Or Gallagher, like so many of them. Sorry, Neil.
But going back to Pac-Man 99, we started playing it on Ree's. It's not a Pro controller. It's one of those aftermarket Pro controllers, like a $50 one. And the Pro controller is notorious for having a D-pad that is absolutely useless for four-way games. Like Tetris 99, you cannot play on a freaking Pro controller.
Yeah.
The D-pad is so spongy and sticky. You'll be hitting left and right and up like all at the same time. You're going to drop a block And I tried to play Pac-Man 99. Like Reed was having a bit of success with it. I don't know how, but I jumped straight onto the same controller as her on Pac-Man 99, up, down, left, right. They just were not registering properly at all. I don't know if it was like a lag or network issue or what, but I grabbed it and I was like, I'm pressing up and Pac-Man's going right like almost every time. And it was just this, the D-pads are so spongy. So go for your Joy-Cons, go Joy-Cons. Pac-Man 99.
Yeah, with the separate Joy-Cons.
The defined up, down, left, right, it changed both of us completely. And we started playing it and we started enjoying it. Yeah.
Nice, man. We should team up and play a game online in the same lobby. Can you do that with Pac-Man 99? I think you can.
I think we can. Yeah, probably could. Probably like the other 99 games. I haven't worked
out. Yeah, I've got to check it out.
Yeah, it's great. It's a lot of fun.
Nice. What were you going to say, Neil? Sorry, mate.
Oh, I was just going to say, it would be good to hear about Death by Arcade, Mike.
Yeah. Give us the skinny.
That was a whole experience, that thing.
So run us through what it is and run us through your experience.
All right. So, let me
it needs a sip of water for this one.
Yeah. So Death by Arcade, that was, So every year at Netherworld, they held Death by Pinball, which is a 24-hour pinball competition. It goes from 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning to 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning, generally over the Easter weekend. So there's you got a 4-day weekend in Australia. Those middle 2 days, you're playing pinball for 24 hours. And this year was the first year they were going to implement Death by Arcade. Actually, no, last year.
It was last year,
Yeah, last year they were going to implement it. So the plan last year's Death games and challenges and so on. Aaron Rayner was the guy that put it, headed it up.
And we were part of the
Shaun
committee, right? Me and you, and
brought Shaun and myself in. Yeah,
I could have gone if it did happen last year, but
no. But then and again. Last year, COVID kicked in, and all of our plans, we spent like hours and hours working on those challenges, the games we'd play, how we'd play them, the teams, the relays, the marathons you'd do with people. And then COVID came along, and all of our plans, just nothing. It was all canned. The whole event was canned last year. And what happened last year was because Jimmy from Netherworld, he just did the death by pinball on his own in Netherworld. He did 24 hours of pinball on his own, and he streamed it, and it was a pretty crazy event. Like, it was just him just playing pinballs for that amount of time. So this year it had all planned out again. Yeah, myself and Aaron tweaked. We went through all the games that were at Netherworld, because obviously within a year the games are going to change at Netherworld. So we went through the whole list of games. We changed a few challenges, changed a couple of games, and then we had a good old COVID snap lockdown in Brisbane again. And sadly, Death by Arcade and Pinball couldn't go ahead again, like 2 years in a row, which is like, it's just such a bitch.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what a pain in the ass.
Best thing that could have happened for me, but continue.
But yeah, and so Jimmy at Netherworld, he was like, well, we'll just do it again like we did last year, maybe with some extra people. And he asked a couple of buds if we do pinball with him, and Phil Dudley, one of the chefs at Netherworld, was like, yep, I'll join in, Jimmy. We'll play pinball 24 hours. And Jimmy also asked Aaron if he wanted to go through with the Death by Arcade stuff that we'd organised. And Aaron asked me, like, why not? Let's do it. Let's do 24 hours of arcade games. So yeah, so it went ahead for very few, like, just, for Jimmy and Phil, and for me and Aaron, Death by Arcade, Death by Pinball did happen, which is, it's sad. We really wanted everyone there, everyone that had bought a ticket. It's just, it's such a shame that we couldn't have, because it would have been a whole different experience, and like hanging out with all the mates and random dudes coming along to join in. It's yeah. Fingers crossed next year.
Super jealous, Mike, but I'm glad that somebody was able to appreciate or experience it.
Yeah.
And
that was awesome.
It's called you got something for winning it, didn't you, or for like surviving the 24
So
hours?
we got a patch and a badge and a t-shirt. Well, the t-shirts would have been for anyone that entered the comp, but like, if you survive the whole 24 hours, you get the patch and the badge to go with it. So it was pretty interesting 24 hours. Like, we kicked off super enthusiastic. It was 9 o'clock. We got the stream cranking about maybe 20 past 9, because we had to stream off my laptop via the BPAC Twitch stream. So yeah, so we got that set up. Jimmy helped us set up the last little bits. The day before, actually, on the Friday, we were Aaron and myself went to Netherworld. We got a lot of things, a lot of final details sorted out. Got the stream, got the computer up and running, the Twitch, got the Twitch stream sort of alive, OBS working, which is good. And then the next morning back in, and then we kicked it off, and yeah, it was going to be all. We were like, all right, it's going to be a big focus on BPAC. Not BPAC. It's going to be a big focus on Battle of the Arcades games, and we're going to go through these games one by one and break them down, and like tell everyone how we're playing them and what we're picking up, and how some hints and tips of what we find. And that lasted about an hour or two, and then it just evolved into playing arcade games we like, or having a new challenge on some other arcade machine in the event. It did still go back to like Battle of the Arcades games, but it even after about 6 hours, like, okay, we're just going to play the games we like. And it ended up being a lot of fun, and it was just crazy. Like, it got to midnight, and we're like, where has the time gone? Like, we've had such a good time just playing games. And we'd like wheel a machine out, or 2 machines out, wheel 2 new machines in, hook the stream back up, get it going, and start playing again. And that was pretty much the whole 24 hours. We just playing different games, running through different things. We had a section where we were both going for high scores. So we did have a section that was dedicated to like, all right, let's get serious for a while. I think it felt like it might have been in the afternoon, maybe 2 or 3 o'clock. I can't even remember. It got so blurry through the whole 24 hours. But yeah, Aaron wanted to jump on as Pac-Man, and I wanted to jump on Gallagher, and we both wanted to do like high score runs, like serious dig in, play. Let's get a high score each. I went all right on Gallagher on my first run. I got like another 1 million point run, which was which doesn't
Nice.
happen very often. And Aaron, he smashed through Ms. Pac-Man. I can't remember what his score was, but he played a lot and he learned a lot, and he's still learning it. He loves that game so much, and he's still learning. One of his things is he loves to learn how to like play a game to its he loves to learn how to play it to death. Like he loves to learn every single thing he can about it so he can play it like masterfully. So he's still in that period, in that range of really picking it up. But yeah,
Shout out to Aaron Raynor.
Yeah, Aaron Raynor, man, he kept us alive during that whole night. Like I couldn't have done it on my own at all. That was a tough going after 2-3 a.m. in the morning. But yeah, it was an awesome, I don't know, experience. Yeah, to have 24 hours into the world, playing the games that we loved, playing some new games we haven't played, learning some Battle of the Arcades games. I got super frustrated with Last Blade 2. I really put time into it. It was about half an hour, I'd say. I haven't learnt the parry system yet. Apparently there's a parry system, so I was pressing that fourth button on the far right of the fourth Neo Geo button, and you do like a little shimmering shiny thing. I had a feeling it did something cool, but I couldn't figure it out during that half an hour sesh. And every time the AI is ridiculously hard in that game, so I gave it up real quick, and that became a theme deeper into the night. Getting frustrated with games and just like, all right, fuck it, let's just play something else. We're done. Yeah. And it actually happened with Donkey Kong early on. Like we both had pretty good games early on, and then we're like, fuck this game, let's get it out here. But Donkey Kong was the one that we kept coming back to, which was weird. Because literally it would be like a 3-hour gap, and we're like, oh, we got to play Donkey Kong again. And it's so irritating, especially when you're tired, especially when you're like your concentration is way down. Yeah.
Totally, man. It's that kind of game though that keeps you coming back.
Yeah.
Because you always feel like you can do a little more. I can do better.
Yeah.
And then the game just goes, nah, you're shit.
Yeah.
Especially when you have a bad run, like when you get nowhere near your score, you're like, I can't leave it like that. Like that can't be my last run. And then you get a good score that's close to your PB, and you're like, just maybe one more game. It plays with you all the time.
Oh man, it's such a cruel mistress setup.
Yeah, totally.
Oh shit. But yeah, one of the toughest things we did was a playthrough of House of the Dead. We wheeled out the House of the Dead machine, which weighs a freaking ton. And like, hats off to Aaron, man. He did the heavy lifting. Like I couldn't really move many machines because my back issues from a couple of years back, so I couldn't be doing any heavy lifting. Aaron just like, give me this freaking cabinet, fucking rip it down, roll it out. Like, dude, this weighs like 150 kilos. How are you doing this?
Oh man.
Wow,
the strength of beer.
Yeah. And we didn't have that
powerful dude.
He's a monster, man. And we didn't have that much beer during the whole event either. We'd have a beer on average, like every hour and a half, possibly every 2 hours, like really break it up because we didn't want to get drunk and have that drunken side of we're not going to make it. Yeah. So we're like drinking good, eating good, sugars, carbs, Gatorade, like just flowing through the motions of trying to keep going, because like I based what I did through death. I didn't think I was going to make it. That was the first thing I thought when they're like, they're going to Jimmy's invited us. I don't know if I can do it, but like I can't not do it because I like what if I like organize that and then I can't do it? Yeah. I went in thinking, oh man, I don't think I can mentally do it. Like I thought it was going to affect me mentally and physically, that I couldn't get through the night. But I went in with a mentality of like basing eating and drinking off doing a long haul flight, like from Australia to Europe, where you would have regular meals, regular drinks, regular, movements, walking around the cabins or whatever, every 5 to 6 hours. Just have a meal, big bunch of snacks, some sugars, some drinks, some liquid hydration, And I based it off that, and that like, and mentally that helped me get through the entire 24
awesome.
hours.
That's so.
I thought I'd be
so
out.
you.
I thought, yeah.
That's like. Did you have a spreadsheet? Like with
No
all the
spreadsheets.
different times and stuff you need to eat? It would have been so funny.
I should have got
spreadsheet.
At some time in the morning, I had like some old, like we had fish tacos the night before at home here, so I had some fish in the fridge and some salad. And Aaron had brought some mayonnaise and some bread, and it was like I think 4 a.m, and James Straker had turned up, and he was like chatting to us about all sorts of different stuff. And I was
that's
eating
the guy
a
who was on the
sandwich.
stream. Yeah.
They're talking about that game that you asked about. What was it?
Holy
Diver.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Holy
right.
Diver.
I looked into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it super crazy? Rare? Yeah.
Yeah, it's rare. It's super difficult. I think it only came out in Japan.
Nice.
And
and it was just super. And after about 3 a.m, it just got super trippy. Jimmy came out at one point. I think it was about 1 a.m, and he's like, "Did someone fall over out here?" Because they were like playing pinball in the front room of Netherworld, and we were in the back room in the arcade side. And Jimmy's like, "Did someone fall over?" And we're like, "No, man. Like we're all good." But
Jimmy's just losing
weird,
his mind.
But what's weird is like 2 hours later, we were playing Halo on Halo 1, like on the original Xbox Halo 1 on Aaron's Xbox 360. It took him a while to set it up because there was some parental controls shit in place. But yeah, we're playing Halo for like an hour and a half, drinking beers and having waters and hydrating and playing games, hanging out, trying not to fall asleep. And Aaron went to get up off the table that he was sitting on, which had my 2 drinks and his drink, and it had a controller, his Xbox 360 controller, and what else is on there? And his Halo 2 box, like steel box collector's edition on the table. He went to get off the table, like because he was sitting on it, and it caught on his pants. The table went forwards and back. All the glasses smashed. And there was beer everywhere. I had my life mix of water, Gatorade, and Red Bull going on, which was also helping out. Smashed, sticky beer all over the ground. And this is like Jimmy basically had a premonition that this was going to happen 2 or 3 hours before it happened.
Dude,
oh man,
it is a monster-themed bar called Netherworld. So spooky.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Trippy.
So man, that was pretty trippy. About 4 a.m, I went, like we were starting to see things a little bit. Like I walked out of the toilets at about 4 a.m, and I stepped back thinking someone was walking into the toilet because there's like some patterns on the wall of the toilet. It looked like a leg. I literally stepped back and I was like, oh, so, and there was no one there. I'm like, okay, then. But yeah, like I fully stepped back, and I was. It was just the weirdest feeling, thinking someone was walking into the toilet in front of me, but there wasn't. It was just super it was like a hallucination, basically. I saw someone's leg walk through the door, and I stepped back like, sorry, and there was no one there. It was, got pretty wild. There? Like super late.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It was just me. Like I was just fucking jealous, hanging around in the Netherworld toilets, and everyone would see me.
Classic Neil.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Just a regular Friday night, really.
The amount of times, mate, I've gone in there and you're not even using the bathroom, you're just standing in there, just hanging out.
The ghost of Netherworld past.
Yeah. I was thinking that too. I was going to say it was me, the ghost of Ultimate's past.
Or Rudy. It might have been Rudy.
Oh, Rudy. Oh, the creepy doll in the game. Oh, mate.
Oh, yeah. What's that? The fun house, right? Pinball machine.
Funhouse.
Mm.
Damn. Yeah, that's hectic.
Yeah.
Great game.
Play after.
What a big, weird doll, man.
Super weird.
But yeah,
a little shitty, but we'll push on.
Pretty weird, and then cool. And then what? Hang on in the morning was playing Point Blank.
Sorry. Internet's being a fuckhead. Could be just because it's Sunday
Yeah.
and like heaps of people would be using the internet. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't work at fucking
People listen
IT.
to Ramstein and
Yeah. All I hear all the time is du hast me. I'm just like, fuck's sake, guys, listen to something else.
just from the 9 churches.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not in Neunkirchen right now.
Oh yeah, 9 noon.
I'm in Stuttgart.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right, mate.
Oh, of course.
All right, let's continue.
Doesn't Kuchen mean chicken?
Henshin.
Henshin is chicken.
Kirchen is, or Kirchen is churches, or Kirchen, depending on dialect. They say Kirchen in Saarland. But chicken is Henshin.
Oh, all right. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
like
cool.
a hen.
In Dutch, it's like Keuken. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Chin.
Henshin, yeah. I don't know what's happening with the internet, but it sorted itself out before.
Yeah.
But we'll push on. I can edit all
You
the
sound good.
shitty parts out.
Your video's good.
Oh, okay. Sometimes when I'm hearing you guys, it's a bit choppy, but that's all right.
All right.
I think next time we'll try to get it set up so that we're all recording our audio separately. And I would just like to try that.
You were talking about that last time.
Could be a fuck around, but just to get everyone's audio like legit.
Well,
when I'm back in Australia, I really want to try to record these in person. It's more fun that way.
Yeah, that'd be great.
An excuse to hang out.
Totally. Yeah. 100%.
But yeah, Mike, you were saying
but yeah,
Point Blank.
Yeah. So yeah, and like Point Blank is what brought me back to life anyway. Like after that really hard, the toughest yards was about 4 a.m. till about 5:30, and I was feeling absolutely terrible. And I was like, let's play Point Blank. Let's just jump onto that. So yeah, we set up the cameras again and got in front of Point Blank and jumped in, and that was kept us going. It was good, lots of fun.
That kind of game.
And we found out that me and Aaron, that's it. And like playing that and also playing House of the Dead with Aaron, we found out that me and Aaron are very similar skill set in like light gun shooters. We were like almost even so much of the way through the different games. It was pretty weird. Yeah, but good.
Nice, man. Nice. Speaking of events at Netherworld, there's Arcade Wars happening at the moment, and then there's a fighting game comp coming up. You guys are probably on top of that way more than I am. So, who would like to run us through?
Oh yeah.
So at the moment we've got Arcade Wars up and running, which is organised by Stephen Holmes from One Up. So it's a monthly competition, like a game per month, where the top 3 scores from each arcade bar is tallied to make like a team score, I suppose. So it's been a really fun competition in the past. Previously, it started out as a competition between One Up and Galloping Ghost Arcade in Chicago, but they've opened it up to a heap of other bars just prior to COVID. So it got canned for a while, but now it's back. So this month, it's Metal Slug X is the game.
Nice.
And it's a really good choice for a game. It's the first time I've played it, and it's kind of like, well, it's Metal Slug 2, but it's been they made it because if you play Metal Slug 2, there's like a heap of lag in it, and they tried to fix the lag issue.
Lots of slowdown. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because of like 1,000 sprites on the screen at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they tried to fix it with Metal Slug X, but you still get that slowdown a lot. within that game as well. But obviously, it's a lot better. But they've reskinned bosses, or they've reskinned the game. So there's like different backgrounds and things like that. Even though like a lot of the maps or the way the game plays is very similar. It took me a while to actually pick up on, like, the enemies seem harder to me. Like, they're quick to throw grenades and things like that. So made it a little bit harder. And yeah, a lot of the bosses are different in it as well, or they've got bosses in different parts and things like that. No, I only got to like level 3 or 4, but yeah, it was really cool. Yeah,
Nice.
It's a fun little game. So yeah, I don't know all the arcades that are in it this time, or if all of them are able to be a part of it yet, but it's running at Netherworld and 1UP. I'm pretty sure 1989 at the moment, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see if a lot of the other arcades around the world get into it as well. So
yeah, and if you do have a local arcade where you are, then hit them up and see if they can get involved. Tell them to contact Stephen Holmes at 1UP Arcade in Morningside in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. And who knows, maybe you can become involved. Maybe you'll be a champion.
Yeah. Is Galloping Ghost joined in as well still on this one?
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised if they aren't. Yeah. They definitely will be when they're up and running, but I'm not sure of what's happening in the States, especially Chicago. If they're able to function at the moment.
Fair enough.
Bugger. Maybe they can have one person in at a time.
Yeah, that's it. One person on 150 or plus. They've got a huge collection of arcades over there. So
it's wild.
But yeah, on top of that, there's another competition coming up for Netherworld.
The Street Fighter Knockout.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's it. That's it. Yeah, it's called the Street Fighter Knockout, or Street Fighter Knockout.
Oh, awesome.
Which is a 2 strikes knockout event. 48 players can compete. It's going to be over 4 different Street Fighter games. So we've got Street Fighter Hyper Fighting, Street Fighter Alpha 2, we've got Street Fighter EX Alpha on PS1 on PS1 with fight sticks. So there'll be fight sticks to use, and also Ultra Street Fighter 4 on the PS4, also with fight sticks.
Oh man, this is horseshit. I want to play in that so bad.
Yeah.
Fuck. I love Street Fighter 4.
Fly you in, man. Oh, dude, it's beautiful, eh?
I would go through the 2 weeks quarantine and pay the 2.8 grand that I have to do to come back just to play in that if I had the money.
Yeah.
It's really... Sorry, go on, Mike.
Oh, yeah, so tickets to join in, it's $20 a ticket. It comes with a drink and a limited Guile pin designed by Nelson Gibbons. It also gives you entry to the comp as well as prizes on top of all that if you happen to be in the top 3 places. So it's going to be a mental Street Fighter fest on the 24th of April at Netherworld.
Sounds shit. I used to love doing this podcast. Now it just reminds me of what I'm missing out on.
Which I really, I don't get into the fighting games, but it's great for that community because there is like a niche community within the arcade crew that just love those fighting games. So I'm stoked for them that it's happening.
Peter High is going to win probably. Shout out Peter, you're a beast.
He'll place very highly for sure.
If there'll be a lot of people hopefully that come out of the woodwork though for a Street Fighter like that.
Man, and they do for Street Fighter. It's amazing to see some of these dudes that come out of nowhere and they just drop in and destroy people.
Yeah,
it's amazing to see. Yeah,
maybe Dale Coyo will enter it. He's a beast.
I was about to say,
crossed.
Dale and Stephen, if both of them rock up, that's going to be very fun.
We can get Steve.
Especially
Steve. Yeah.
He's awesome.
I love the fact that it's over 4 games too. It's not just one.
Yep. That's
You'll,
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll
very
find that
different games.
some people, yeah, that's it. Some people would be really good like that. We know Delcor is good at some of like the original 90s arcade versions. That will be
Mm.
interesting to see if he can hold up on the number 4 and thing and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I'd say 4 is similar to 2 in a way, like a lot of the
Yeah, very
kind
much.
of the way it plays. But then Alpha is a whole different kind of system with like your ultras and supers and stuff.
Yeah, right.
So what was it? Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 4, like Ultra Street
So,
Fighter
so,
4.
so Street Fighter 2 hyper fighting. So it's like the hardcore turbo version.
Yeah.
And then we got Street Fighter Alpha 2, which is one of the best 2D versions after Street Fighter 2. Then we also have Street Fighter EX Alpha. Or I think it might be EX plus Alpha.
Oh,
I'm not
EX,
sure.
like the 3D-ish kind of one.
Is it I think that's one of the 3D ones. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah.
With the
which is
the skeleton dude that goes like Skull Crusher, Skull Slider. It's pretty cool. Unless I'm remembering that wrong, but yeah, Skull Crusher.
And that's going to be played on PS1. So this is part of the comp is playing on PS1, not on arcade machine. And that's good with PS1 fight sticks, like the 6-button arcade sticks. And then we also have PS4. It's going to be Ultra Street Fighter 4.
Dude, that's going to be a hell of an event.
Also on fight sticks, yeah. So it's good. Whichever fight sticks they're using are going to get freaking hammered that day.
Man, I'm sick of this.
I've got a funny story about this. So I tried to hire out. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it was EX, but I tried to hire out like a 3D kind of Street Fighter game when I was sick or something from school, and my mum was like, oh, you can hire out a game or whatnot, and I knew that they had like this kind of 3D Street Fighter game. Yeah, legend, right? Anyway, she so I told her what I wanted. She went down to Video Easy, and she came back with Street Fighter the movie game, which was just fucking terrible. It was it was the worst game I've ever played. It's up there anyway. It was terrible.
Man.
Bad.
I mean, EX is, as far as I know, they're not the best games, those 3D ones. But
yeah, they're pretty clunky. Yeah.
Yeah, but the Street Fighter the movie. Yeah,
so I've never actually played the 3D versions at all. I just got stuck with the movie, unfortunately. Which I didn't play for very long. I went back to something I owned.
Probably Wonder Boy. Oh, you didn't own Wonder Boy, did you, at the time?
No, I didn't. No, I never had Wonder Boy. But yeah, I can't remember what I was playing. I had a pretty good PS collection. I think I was into like Vigilante 8 at that stage.
Oh, nice.
Nice one.
Nice.
You beauty. Cool, man. Righto.
So Shaun, we haven't really gotten to you, man, in regards to what you've been doing.
What have you been up to, bud?
I've been streaming Super Mario World since the Easter weekend, and I'm getting towards the end of that now. I'm up to the castle in World 7. And yeah, great game. Super challenging. It's getting pretty difficult now, but I love it. So I'll probably finish that off soon. And still be playing NES Tetris, just generally play that, try to get better. And a little bit of Mario Odyssey. But the thing that's taken up a fair bit of time recently was trying to mod my Game Boy Pocket so I had a Game Boy Pocket here that I bought on like Facebook Marketplace or eBay. eBay Kleinanzeigen, small sales, which is like Gumtree. And I thought, I'm going to get a soldering iron. So I ordered one from China for like 10 euros on AliExpress. And I ordered the OSD LCD IPS screen, like the new thing for the Game Boy Pockets.
Nice.
Comes up with a little on-screen menu. That's what OSD stands for, on-screen display. And then it like lets you change all the colors and stuff that you want. So it changes your
Wow.
pocket into a much better screen, plus gives you a color palette that you can tweak and everything, and some touch sensors and stuff. But it was not a success.
Oh,
But I did learn kind of how to solder, not very well, but at least I gave it a shot. The Game Boy Pocket definitely worked before I started modding it. Then, as I'm putting it all back together, the power switch actually came loose
yeah.
from the board, and it has like 6 little contacts that were soldered down. But I guess not much solder in time had made them like a bit weak. So that came loose. I tried soldering that back on, also taking that apart, this little switch apart and cleaning it. Looked into how to do it, contacted modders on Instagram, and like shout out to the modders that did get back to me with some help. Nintendo DIY is one of them. He really gave me heaps of advice on how to fix it, and he's based in the UK, I believe. So I think it's Nintendo DIY _, and Frankenboy was another one. Scott Tiller helped me out with some people who I should try to contact, and yeah, so Frankenboy would have let me send it to them to do it. But yeah, Frankenboy19 on Instagram if you want to see some awesome modded Game Boys, and Nintendo DIY _ David is another modder who helped me out with a lot of advice. But sadly, I couldn't get it working. I did try to bridge, just to test if it's working at all, bridge the 2 little solder points with power, and also bridge a fuse that it could have been the issue with, and nothing seemed to work. So I've sent it to I found an ad on eBay here, eBay Kleinanzeigen, to for like a guy who repairs and mods Game Boys, and I contacted him, and I've sent it off to him yesterday. So hopefully he can figure it out, get it working, and if not, at least I know. But yeah, I really wanted to have it's like a nice clear purple shell, new buttons, new like glass screen, bezel, and
Nice.
yeah, I was like so stoked. I'm like, yeah, it's my first mod. I'm doing the soldering and everything myself, and maybe that was a mistake because it didn't work. But yeah, I was super bummed. I even streamed it on Twitch. Like, I think it was a terrible job of streaming, trying to keep the camera in the right place. Like, I don't have like a camera that can hang above like you need for that kind of thing where you're working with really small electronics and to get the right angles. But hopefully soon I'll have that back and have a sweet modded Game Boy. And if I do, I'll put up some photos on the Instagram and Facebook, and that would be nice. But yeah, that's pretty much me caught up. I didn't enter the Tetris comp this month, just been, I guess, busy walking dogs and working a bit more and stuff, and I just didn't really think about that comp that much. So yeah, maybe next month. Well, wait, this month, April. I didn't enter the one in last month in March.
Right.
Yeah, but that's pretty much me. What do we have next? We had a lot of things to talk about, but maybe we move on to, or let's announce, like, well, let's talk about the Kim Cannonarm documentary that's coming out. So Kim Cannonarm is like an amazing gamer out of Denmark. We know him through our mate, well, we know of him through our mate Johnny Bond mostly, and he has some like world records, I believe. But there is a documentary coming out about him going for the 100 hour Gyrus like marathon.
Jesus.
Yeah, I just had that up before on Instagram, but I've lost it. Let me see. 1 sec.
That's insane. Like, just
Yeah.
playing a game, like just a couple of things that we've talked about. So like, I played in 2 days, I played 14 hours of like Ghosts and Goblins, and my hand from like doing parts of that game were like wrecked, and like it's still sore from playing the way I play in certain parts. Like, I thought it was
Yeah.
okay the next day coming in, but like as soon as I put like a little bit of pressure on there on the second day, like on, I don't know what part of that of the hand you call that, but like just the inside of my palm there,
Yeah.
I felt instant pain just like doing
Wow.
that.
Jesus.
And like just like Mike, what you were talking about, partially hallucinating from lack of sleep after 24 hours.
Yeah.
This guy's trying to do 100 hours
100.
non-stop
That is so wild.
playing of gyros. Like, and
Yeah.
like I understand like there's many breaks in there, but you're like how much effort and intense game playing that is for 100 hours is just insane.
It's ridiculous, man. Absolutely nuts. So he's it says don't try this alone. That's like there's a movie poster I'm looking at, kind of looks like a retro like Star Wars movie poster, and it's called, I'm probably going to butcher how to pronounce this, Ogredgen mod verdens Krekorden. So Kim Canonarm, Ogredgen mod verdens Krekorden. And I think that stands for Cannon Arm and the Arcade Quest, because there's a photo down further which is, it says that because it's been selected for future cult classics and the most diverse and creative approaches to filmmaking. That's part of what it says in the description, but it's for official selection for the 2021 Hot Docs. So Hot Docs would be like documentaries, and then that it's called the Cannon Arm and the Arcade Quest. So search that if you want to look it up. It's coming out this month in April.
Sweet.
And it's on Instagram as well, at Kim Canonarm _ Canonarm. It's so KIMKANONARM is how you spell his name, _ Canonarm as in Canon CANNONARM _ film. Bit of a mouthful, but check that out. And so cool that his name is Cannon Arm. And yeah, you would have to have an arm like a cannon to last for 100 hours playing a game.
So wild.
So there's a bit of a preview that's been out. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but the trailer, I suppose, of it. It looks really well made, and yeah, it looks super interesting. I can't wait to see it. But our mate Johnny Bond, so Johnny's from Denmark, where they have the shed where I believe the record is being attempted within the documentary. He shared a short story with us about local fish and chip shops or places that had arcade games in it. When they saw the Cannon Arm coming to play games, they used to like literally put it away or stop him from playing, because they know that he would be there from from morning till night on one credit playing the game. So they didn't want him playing the game because it's like they know they're only going to get $1 for that day off the machine. How crazy is that?
I just picture like a Wild Wild West thing where, like, instead of him holding a gun, he's got like a coin. And, you know, as he's walking down the main street, all the shops are like going, oh, and closing their windows and like doors and freaking out. And he's just walking like with his sick mullet. Like, man, that should hopefully like they recreate that in the film or something, but I don't know if they will. Yeah, that's so cool. So I'm really looking forward to that. I love like gaming documentaries, especially like something so niche about like an old arcade game, like with playing for 100 hours. That's so cool. So that's all we have time for this episode. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We really appreciate it. If you made it this far, and if you're a first time listener, give us a follow, a like, a review. Tell us we're good. Tell us we're crap. And if you're a return listener, thank you very much for your loyalty. You will be rewarded with more podcasts. Thanks for the chat, guys. It's been really good catching up. Sorry, it's been a while to everyone out there and to you guys as well, but we'll get another one going soon. And have a great week.
Yeah, enjoy. Thanks all.
Good night. See you, Neil. See you, Mike. See you, everybody.
See you, buddy.
See ya.
Oh, take it easy. Cheers.